Chicken film in the roll, 60s. Monkey day when the beef, blick gate. What's it for belief? Please, you figure it out. Keep it easy. You're now listening to the Zesty. Same or side, chicken. Window sister, kinky. When I'm in the country, Jim Jim. Jump for Jim check. Chicken in. I'm so ill. Pen game in a bit of my choker. Gotta get this money, no broker. Gotta get these bitches to be freaky. Or 25 points.
Good afternoon. Good evening. Rising. Hope your week has been fantastic, and of course, welcome to the Rhythm Scoop Show. Hope much is matching literally as it's supposed to. And hope you're ready for the weekend as well and for the conversation of today. Yes, and of course, karibuni sana. It's exactly 5 minutes past 4 p.m. right here in the 254. Hope you guys have had a beautiful week, and of course, wishing you a beautiful weekend ahead. Hope much is matching literally as it's supposed to, and of course, that is the one and only Sai Sandambi featuring the one and only Caterpillar Hassan Autocentric 125 Music, and of course, Shengo. We also have the one and only Abbas Kuba. Abbas Kuba. Yes. Yeah, I'm pronouncing correctly. But yes, karibuni. My name is Joby, the captain of today. We do this every Monday and Friday where we bring you arts, entertainment, and culture. And of course, stay tuned because we have some amazing conversations as we get into the weekend, giving you the heads up of what is coming in, what is coming. Come on, and appear. WR, come let's
see.
Yeah.
Man, they already cancelled the first stage because of too much rains in Naivasha.
Yeah.
So to all of y'all, man, because of this
shit.
Yeah, like heavy.
With that.
Shit.
I don't care.
Tuna cheesy. Now you're mad, yani. We are mad for the mud.
Yeah.
God damn it, what you mean that you hakuna sherehe mzuri kama sherehe ya matope?
Vile inafaa? Kubebe kuna sherehe ya matope.
Sherehe ya matope. Angusha usichana kwa matope, piga kuni hapo.
No, like tuna sherehe ya matope.
Yeah.
Like music and people are just like
kwa matope. And then
but mostly a men. But there's also women, you know, wale mademo wanapendanga kama zile.
Matope is just uncomfortable for a body.
Nah, yo, shout out to KCB for providing so many amenities, by the way, for the WRC. So the KCB is providing music, entertainment, DJs, showers, like portable showers and everything. Like you can stay fresh 24/7. They're handing out KCB t-shirts. So if you're going for the WRC, we're waiting to see you with your KCB WRC t-shirt. If you don't have it, you was never there. God damn it. Nakama, you know, Nakama, by the way, I'll go for the VIP tent. Don't holla at me.
That's what's up. But yes, karibuni sana. How you guys doing? Huh?
I'm doing great. I can't complain. I'm feeling good.
Yes.
Excited for the weekend. As always, oh my God, I live for my weekend. Shout out to Tariq, I'm coming.
Yeah.
And this weekend I'm gonna be in Westland.
Ata Lord Arnold is in the building as well.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, he's going to be in the building. It's going to be amazing. Everybody that's going to be at Westie, Catch us where at the what? The lounge.
How are you doing, Kamle?
I'm doing great, man.
How's your week been?
Man, let's not talk about the week. The week has been slapping the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Right.
But the weekend, I'm about to slap the shit out this weekend, man. Like hii weekend naishika hivi na naipiga mabare, man. Nacheza tu na mapua tu. Ndio maana nimevaa t-shirt ya Coke.
Joby, how is yours?
How you doing?
We can't talk
Nini
about
niachana nayo?
That's too much info, Kamlesh. TMI.
Inamaanisha sasa Coke before mkuje kwangu. Mbona
Yeah.
mvalia Coke?
Yeah.
Sitacheza na mapua.
Okay, sure.
Umeshikanisha? Bro.
Ngori sana.
No, Coke Studio, to ni Coke Studio. So like, yeah.
Zama ungenifuata ungecheza na mapua for real.
Mimi ucheza na mapua.
Huko kulikuwa kunacheza tu na
Mapua.
mapua.
It's always bad. I've been there. I know the mapua shit.
Tuligraduate from, najua syllabus ili change. Tuliacha kuuliza my eyes red, is my nose clean?
Na niliona si hata ya white, nilisikia nika perfume tu, naekewa tu ka perfume na
Zimejaa siku hizi round
one of our friends has almost died. Nilikuwa tunasikia aftermath, niko like that was happening, like was going
alafu
on.
labda uko najua na
No, me I was really like busy, just learning, like I'm about to give you tips about what I learned.
Period.
Yeah.
Teach us the game.
Come on.
Not the tip though, not the tip, like the whole gang.
Period.
Yeah.
But yes, I'm doing great. Grateful for how the week has been. Grateful for life. Grateful for health. Grateful for work. Shout out to what
Grateful for kuwaka.
Grateful for kuwaka pia hiyo. I'm just grateful literally.
You're looking good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Niko grateful na niko na furaha tu. Na niko at peace. That's just how I feel.
Amani, like you see
lately I feel like since the last weekend sijui nimekuwa nikifeel I feel I don't know nika umemature like some na feel sijui aje na feel there's something in me womanhood ingine inaingia like I don't know what's happening like natembea nasikia jegi yenyewe zina bounce.
This is your peak.
Unakumbuka grow like especially for ladies boobs zikaanza kutokea unaambua ama uko ranga wengine watingisha kifua ndio sikia kwa nazo.
Tingisha kifua.
Unaona wale mademu tembea kama boobs zinatingisha.
I feel like just in your feminine era this week I feel like a lot of feminine.
I just feel sijui na feel aje. I'm just walking like a diva, just feeling like a diva. Yeah, watu wamekuwa wakiniambia unatembea vizuri. Natembeanga hivyo kwani wiki nini imechange?
Hii wiki kuna some tips.
Yeah, but we're taking a short musical break. We're going to come back with what is happening with our Kenyan artist that is Nadia Mokami, who has actually been left counting losses after the record label has collapsed. And I'm going to be starting with this because of some of the tips again, the whole game of the things or the information we got yesterday about the music industry. Okay. And I'd say actually some of the things we've talked about here, some of the things we mentioned also I think last week about music classes. Remember we talked about people like kwa shule tu wafunzwe venye wanafaa kuimba. So I'm going to be coming back with that, and of course maybe what you can do as an upcoming artist or as an artist who is still maybe under record labels, vitu ulimiss venye unafaa kufanya ndio usipatikane kwa hii situation. Much more coming politically of what we had Millie Odhiambo what she had to say about the rise in cases of gangsters. After we had, I think this is DJ Mo, hospitalized after kuwa injured. We also saw Jimmy Gates, I think 2-3 weeks ago, same thing actually happened to him. And I think Sakaja, again, should be called out, which we're going to talk about as well.
We'll
talk about Sakaja, we're going to talk about Candy Season being beaten again by the boyfriend, and for how long should you tolerate toxic relationship? And should you literally bring this online, or should you actually go deal with your matters privately and find better? We're going to talk about that. But yes, taking a short musical break. This is the one and only Nandi. Nimependa hii ngoma personally. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but we're going to be coming back also with the quotes of the day. So don't touch that button. Stay tuned. Enjoy the jams. Write a quote of the day in case you have any. Subscribe if you're new here, and enjoy the conversation.
You're now listening to the best music.
Shughuli zangu wezani nani hata ushaifikiria kuguza pake kahi top floor na sikupanda lift ogopangu nalikafunga bila assist top ati stop rapa top laga mnashinda na collab na ambia producer na ingia stuma gis shughuli za mchana si fala akijisi nasikia sana ningewavuruga shida mini drunk sasa success haiwezi pata ukiwa danda niko kila mahali nite rap Zelda nasionekanangi sana location ya pedi na gangsta uchapa
You're now listening to the best music.
unajifanya na wesi gwandi tahadhari kisep saidi sikutambui sikujui sikusikio kibonga yako yote ujue saidi weni fala unanichunguza sana unisakasaka utapendo kunipata sikutambui sikujui sikusikio kibonga yako yote ujue saidi call police kabaya anazoza sana hizo tabia zake ni za kunaana bata kata lonzo
All day, every day.
My quote of the day today says, literally I'd say this is also how I've been feeling lately. I just feel something in me is just super calm, and I just hope to say that way. Like, awa manongo wananitry huku nje munikome. Again, nilisema hivyo jana, munikome. And it says, dear universe, cancel any ties, contracts, promises, or from this point forward, I give time, love, and attention only to those who meet with my honesty, my respect, and my effort. I choose peace, clarity, and the real connection. And I think one word I'm heavy on that whole statement is clarity. I love seeing things super clear the way they is. Like, give it to me, bro. Like, don't like that, and also not like that. Okay. I think I also had another one, but CJQ, it was talking about this year I'm no longer in that quote of whatever kills me makes me stronger. I no longer want to be killed. I no longer want to be stronger. I want to be at ease. I want to feel just everything flowing, because I've worked so hard for me to be having any hardships. So no longer any statements of what kills me is making me stronger. I'm strong enough. Like, that's my statement. And have a blessed weekend.
Alrighty. Me seen a quote literally, but it's something I saw. This Brown spoke about it, and I literally related with it. So he says, if people don't respect you, cut them off. If people don't want to help your growth or build with you, do it yourself.
Period.
And if somebody doesn't show you they love you, don't beg for it.
Never.
If you taint for me, get the fuck away immediately. Love is love. Ain't supposed to be no conditions to it. People that aren't on my frequency will not be able to exist around me. Shout out to Chris Brown.
As it should.
Yeah.
Have you on the frequency?
Yeah, I really related to it because of frequency. And of course, like, don't beg, man. People, don't beg for love. You'll always meet your tribe. And of course, if people don't respect you, man, don't ever unapologetically walk out, cut people off. Don't even think about it. If they don't help with your growth, uko place penye mtu anajaribu kukutry eti sijui nini kukuregesha back to where, and you put in work for that shit.
Yeah.
Don't. If they don't want to help with your growth or build with you, do it yourself. This story yakwambia tu tutagrow, bro, tutagrow.
Si ni mimea.
Me, I'm always like tutagrow. Me, I always tell even like the men
Maka mahindi.
Checky.
Am I weak?
Tupatani Jew, literally.
Heavy. I'm
That looks
positive.
like rice.
I was telling someone yesterday, I think I'm one of the most, I don't want to say one of the most, but among the most high believers of life itajipa. Like, hakuna kitu inaitwa kama stagnation. Hata ukwame 1 year, 2 years, 5 years,
Unless
there's something that you're gonna, or someone you're gonna bump into. Again, meeting your right tribe. People are gonna connect you to something that you've been seeking or working so hard for. So I don't believe in I'll stay here forever in this kind of situation. I believe in it gets better than it is. Unless your quote.
It always gets, just what that, it always gets better when you put work. When you put in work,
It
always.
gets
But
better.
if you don't, you remain stagnant.
Yep.
Kama majimze kwa mtungi unamea algae. Ameitwa algae, whatever the freaking what the f you call it. But yangu hata si quote bana. Yangu tu ni we are kujaing. You guy, my guy. So you know the motor is ready. Actually, we are not doing the road this weekend. We are not doing roads.
You're doing it.
This weekend, to all my rich friends, you know how we are kujai. That helicopter is ready. We are kujai.
As the
That's
same
so
way
sad.
Chris says it,
Eh?
We are chattering.
We chatter, we are kujai.
Come on.
Okay, like, yeah, propellers. Why are you doing roads? We are kujai. Don't worry about it. I know I missed day 1, but I'm missing day 2. We are kujai.
That's what's
Leo,
up. That's what's
tuna
up.
land, mnaambiwa mclear magari zenu, ndio tuingie.
That's
We are
what's up.
kujaiing, my guy. You guy, where are you staying? Huh? Where are you staying? My boy can hook you up, my guy. Come on, if you need a B&B in Naivasha right now, just hit me up, my guy. I got you. I will connect. My boy got this. He will hook you up, my guy. So like, yeah, woe unto thee if you're doing roads. Why? Wacha hizo vitu, tafuta pasta uorata. You're going by road, eh?
I'm not going by road.
You're going by road, eh?
Yeah.
You ndio energy tunawape. You're going by road, eh?
I'm not doing none.
Yeah, me too.
You're going by road, eh?
I don't know what I'm gonna be doing, but I know I'm gonna be
We are
busy.
kujai.
I'm just not doing nothing to do with WR.
What do you mean?
C3, whatever. I'm not doing that.
WR3.
RC.
Whatever, man. That's what I'm saying. 3C, whatever.
Yeah.
Why you went on Zibambe?
3C me
Beba
there.
kondiko ile ya color, by the way, so you can understand.
By
who
the
you're
way,
dealing
I have
with.
extra condoms. If you,
Your color?
if no, I'm right now. I'm rolling with Durex, Rough Rider. I have some Trust on me. I have a couple of brands of condoms. So like, if you're down, don't go raw, my guy. Hit me up. I got you. I ain't charging you shit. I'm actually protecting your health. If you,
I used
if
to
you're,
wonder why money seems to come easily to people who are
no, let me finish my rant, man. Listen, if you stay safe, okay? Just hit me up. I'm gonna put my number somewhere on my timeline. I'm supplying condoms, man. I'm protecting all the men out there. Don't get babies, don't get diseases.
That's what's up. But as we get into it, I want to reflect back to your quote, Shumani, as we get into this conversation and to understand what is happening with Nadia Mokami. There's something, shout out to Ruby V, there's something she said, Jana, and it reflected so much to me because I remember personally before, or the way I was looking for jobs, and even before I landed here, it was crazy. Like me, nilikuwa na text hadi akina Kim Kardashian. I always tell people that they think actually I'm joking.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm not capping.
How do you
The
even
moment
stay
I
open?
appeared on magazine and then I started getting deals, started doing adverts, and then unajua kuna hiyo time ya kushine na kuna time which also we were being taught yesterday. Like you see, most of the people shine and then you don't know how to use that particular moment
most
because
definitely.
maybe it has happened to you abruptly. And then by the time you realize other people are coming up with different things, someone else is trending, and they get to be picked to, they understand the market, they understand they understand the game. We're talking about actually why utapata kuna hao wasanii wa kupop wapotee, why they go break, how they go broke and all that. But to reflect to what Ruby was saying, she said be unapologetic about daring. Number one, daring yourself. Be unapologetic about asking for opportunities. That is the one thing that ilinishika, because she was saying half before she got, I think either on HBR or one of the platforms, when she was texting like multiple people until she landed to Pulse to be working with the people who are on Pulse and all that. And then actually reflected to it because I was like, before I got again into Blackout Fire, I remember again Specs had approached me before. That is when my name again was popping. But me nikajiona superstar. Niko like, unanishow nini? Unanilipa bro. Mi sitokei basi. And then years later, I think a year or 2 years later, I'm like, God damn, I need a job. So I started literally going to all the people I know. Anyone who has ever DM'd me, I don't care kama ni kunikatia or whatever. I texted literally everyone on my DM till Chini when I started my Instagram. Like that is 2017. I went all the way texting people on my DM. Hi, I'm a model. I can do this and this and this and this. I've worked with this brand. I can do this and this and this. And that's how literally again I was told, can you come for an interview? And that I thought I was coming just for a podcast, and that's how I landed for a job, literally. So that reminded me, if I didn't dare do that, and it says, you have to be in a very desperate position for you to actually be hungry enough. Is it hungry? Hungry, njaa, uko na njaa, that you want to be out there. So for me, I was actually in a position of hunger, like nilikuwa nishachoka, kasema whatever it takes. Nika text Kim Kardashian, texted Nivea, texted best lady. Best lady. I texted so
Every
many brands
you
of
could know,
beauty
yes.
to do with beauty, marketing and all that, and ooh la la, here I am today, literally. So just looking at that quote and what Ruby was saying, and then back to this. Jana kuna mtu alikuwa anasema most of the artists again they fail because of money management. Managers, I think we talked about that.
Financial managers.
Managers number one are the big problem. And there is someone who was saying at first maybe mkianza nyi wote wawili, someone discovers an artist, then they decide to manage them, and then at first you won't be getting the money you have in your head. Wengi walikuwa wanasema ulikuwa unalipwa 5%, 10%, unapata this, it can't even cover you anything. So you end up actually to be like 2, 3, 5 years down the line in the industry. You ask yourself, is this literally
worth it?
Yeah, is this worth it? So one of the guys said actually again challenges most of the creatives face is that you are in this industry where number one, before you get to see the fruits bearing themselves or you being able to write them, it takes time, it takes hardships, it takes so much tears that no one is gonna see you actually crying. And then also something else that was added is don't doubt yourself. Usijidoubt, like your vision uko nayo kwa kichwa, you go for it. But again, going back to management, if you get a good deal, especially as an artist, you upate tu uko na manager mpoa, jipangeni, because things happen. Again, the industry is changing.
What are the
every single
requisites
day.
for a manager?
Pardon?
What are the requisites for a manager? Like, what does it take to manage an artist? Like, what should an artist consider, like, in a manager? Like,
A
when they are-
manager, personally, I would. Okay, maybe I can share my perspective because I've been a manager. Shout out to me.
Come on.
I think what it takes is you putting your artist first, regardless of whatever it takes, feelings, emotions, and everything. Like your artist comes in number one, and you branding your artist as, can you imagine? Like uni star ni star, ni mzuri hata kama ni mbaya mbele yako, is good in everybody's eyes, you know, and that's how you put him out there to people. So
Package him.
Yeah, package him to a perfection, regardless of what everybody says, regardless of what the world thinks, regardless of everything. Puni star. I think that is what it takes, because you might even have like a trash artist, but the way women you unaweza kuwa like a very good manager, because like trust me, I definitely believe as an artist who has been signed or not signed, even who has a management or a team, whatever it takes is like 5% of talent, honestly. Might be 5 or 10%. Most of the time, it's always the work outside. Because as an artist, I definitely believe for you to become a proper artist, all you have to do is create music. That's all you should think about.
Everything else is the team.
Yeah, even when I was starting, even before like being an artist manager, as an artist when I was coming up, and I'm very grateful because I got.
When you were coming up, eh?
Yeah, like
girl, you up now.
Like the first time I knew about artistry, I met somebody amazing. Yeah, alikuwa like already with bag and stuff. Shout out to Zeke, alikuwa shaji develop and he was looking for people to work with. And he approached me, and I didn't even have a song. Honestly, I just loved music, you know. And he gave me like a deal. I didn't sign it. And he told me, Shmani, I'm gonna be paying you. Yeah, he told me I'm paying you 70K per month, and I don't even have a song. So I'm gonna be paying you this money. Sign the deal. You record. Like all I had to do was being an artist. And ananiambia di Monday uko kwa studio, Tuesday ni vocal training. Wednesday uko na madansa, Thursday sijui kwa class ya writing. You know, that's what it takes to be an artist. You're not supposed
on
to
a
think
schedule
about
to stardom.
It's 9 to 5. It's not I'm looking for a show.
Not a hobby.
Yeah, I'm looking for this, you know. So I definitely do believe as an artist, all you're supposed to do is create music. The rest is all about your team. Who's going to book the shows? Who's ensuring you have a team? Who's ensuring you have dancers? Who's ensuring you have vocal training?
You get paid.
All that you get paid, you know. So that's, I feel like that is what it takes to be like a manager. Like put your artist first regardless of everything. So for me as an artist, I would definitely choose that. But even as a manager, because like even me, honestly, like being a manager, like there would be stuff we would face on the low. But ikifika point yenye bro ni biz, tunasahau my feelings na tunaenda, unajua. And so I believe that is one of the most important thing that people look for as an artist. You should definitely look for as a manager. But of course, just adding up on what Joby has said, I definitely agree. Man, you have to believe in yourself. Like, nobody's gonna see the dream if you don't. You're the first person. People will judge you. I've been in a panel where, and maybe you guys had it yesterday, there's somebody who tackled maybe like mental health. Did somebody tackle that?
Yesterday?
Yeah.
No, not really.
Oh, not really.
No.
Because
it's all
of
about creative.
Okay, yeah, like mental health in the creative space.
Not really.
Okay, so like it's really important because like when you say stuff like there's a lot of sacrifice, there's a lot of ups and downs. Like men hakuna artist wanapitia.
I think they were being given the raw truth about which kama unaelewa the conversation unaelewa, this is actually what it comes with mental health.
Yeah.
This is where the stress comes in, you being an artist. Do you stress it akosa?
Yeah, because
manager wako atakuwa na stress.
Yeah.
Kuna wewe kustress pia producer,
Yeah.
that also having their, we're talking about also those utaanza na producer fulani mkosane, and tena you have to shift to someone else.
know.
So I think they were being given the harsh truth of how do I put it? Again, number one, financial management was the one key. Like hapo ukisha bant ni hivyo, you won't be able to move.
I agree.
And then secondly, being told ukianza, because kuna shout to Asam Gavi was the one who was covering about production and talking about how akianza music, how when he went to the studios, how expensive they were. And if you look at today, we have options of at least cheaper studios, because I think
people having home studios a lot.
I think back then ilikuanga tu ni hizi ma studio kubwa za radio kubwa.
You just have to go to Homeboys or whatever.
Yeah, so if you look at today, we have at least an option of people being able to manage neza fanya, but pia quality matters. Tenda kwa cheaper person, but the production, the quality is really bad. So I think it was the harsh truth on
music. I guess I
finances, to be specific. Like ujue tu ukiamua tu kuingia hapa utakosa stress, because I think that was the last question a lady was asking, like what are the difficulties all those creative panels have faced. And ukisikiza everything they were saying, it's all about going back to finance, the things they have tackled, the things they have dealt with, and goes back to finances again.
I agree. Yeah, I definitely do agree with you. I think the most important thing is, like, imagine like having your career paying you, like your purpose paying you. At the end of the day, I feel like that's the biggest challenge that artists face. Like in a space of, I got all this talent, I've put in work, 10 years, 15 years, nothing is coming up, and I'm still doing it, you know? And it's not paying me. I'm struggling with production, I'm struggling with videos, I'm struggling ata kuishi. I'm almost 30 or 40. I'm even approaching 40, lakini but I'm still like surviving on this shit. And at most times it doesn't make sense to a lot of people unless I've made it in life. Now making it in life is whether you are Nyashinsky or GOBN, you know, type of.
That man is doing a residency right now.
Yeah, but type of that type of shit. So if you don't manage that, I believe like there's also the perspective which I would like to actually think about or put it in a space of all this mental, because wasanii tu ni usote na wasumbuanga bila uso, like mtu anaika kila kitu na bado narudi back to the money. It's not making money, you know, and it fucks up your head because time is passing, it's not creating money. And I feel like music business or music is a long-term investment, ni longevity. Ni kitu na invest saa hizi na inakuja 10 years or 5 years. And most of the artists who have done it before have made it super clear. People even like Mandy anasema ya kitu ngoma hata wakadinali, let's use wakadinali. Cockpit 1 ili blow after 10 years. Honestly, like after 10 years, and then they're like, music tuna create sahi. It makes sense. Hata singojangi hata 3 years, na ngojanga 4 years later. Mandy has a podcast, right? She was talking about it with Saru. Sometimes she hosts like female artists, and she was talking about how when she releases a song, like ya kitoa ngoma leo, akirecord, anasema hata hiyo ngoma si ya this year. Hiyo ngoja tuone next year venye itadu. That's what tells you that music is a long-term investment. It doesn't come easily. Hata venye alikuwa na release like the song, alikuwa sema feat the album, Bodies Need Love. Alikuwa sema alikuwa anajua feature ndio ita blow. Because it had charisma. And then akapata Bodies Need Love ndio ili blow na you are ya tajiri, you know, and stuff. So like hii ngoma hata nikiandika, hiyo ngoma niliandika siji 5 years ago. Niliweka tu kwa album. So nasikia like a lot of people say music is a long term business. Si kitu ya kukuja leo.
That is so true.
And as an artist, you have to understand that factor. And I like the fact that people are creating spaces like that to actually teach people game.
Yeah,
Because one thing I appreciate about, maybe we are lucky enough, or maybe I'm lucky enough, because sometimes I basically tend to understand. I think because we had so much conversation with artists on a personal level, and you see their struggles to go like, bro, need the same thing. We analia hiyo, we analia hiyo, we analia hiyo. But again, the more you learn, the more you that space of art, you definitely understand the game. The difference between Esam Gavi and Shman is because Esam Gavi has been there for some time, you know, and he has experience, and he could definitely teach you some game. But it doesn't mean like I'm not gonna get there. So I feel like experiences in the space helps you so much as an artist to understand what is there. But the big thing is you never stop.
Shout to Judy Mugo, that is the past, I think, manager, manager or owner, I'm not sure, one of the two.
Yeah.
I don't know, manager.
Yeah.
Or whatever she forced.
Yeah.
But shout to her.
She works with Pulse.
Yeah, she talked about the same thing we talked about, the longevity.
Yeah.
And she said for her, she started again as an intern in HBR and then became a senior manager, senior something. I can't remember the whole full details. But the key thing she said, it's not about the money.
It's not.
Like
it's
if
never.
you go with the mentality it's always about the money, utadunda very quick. And that's when you get the money, the first big deal utai waste too.
Yeah.
Kwa sababu you think it's all about the money. Now you don't even know how to handle the first money, the big check, the first big check you get.
Okay.
That's why you find most of the artists like kwa akili yake ni ngoma itablow saa ngapi, indo hit song. And inaweza take hadi 5 years ndio upate hit song.
And telling me if I'm wrong, Joby, probably they talked about on that space one hit wonder type of artist where we have like you're blowing up today and then you don't know what to do and then you lose it.
So we
and
mentioned
then there's somebody who has been there for like 10 years alafu blow. There's a difference between wewe kwanza leo na blow next week. And then mtu mwenye ameifanya alafu blow. When you look at the longevity type, and I'm giving an example with Virusi Mbaya, that's an artist that is going to stay for life. For life, because mse amekuwa akicheza hii game, hakuna Kenya juu kwa game, na hakuna Kenya utamshona, ame blow up almost at 40. You know, and you look at somebody who just started like in a CG, look at people Abanton, and not in a bad way. Abanton came immediately, and that's why you see one hit wonder, because now they'll struggle with nimepata views ya 1 million, what am I going to do? And 1 million tafanya aje, alafu natoa inakuja like 100,000 from 1 million. Na uko like Santa, you are trying to sound like ngoma yako ya 1 million, unajaribu kusound kama hiyo ngoma ndio hit, na watu washasikia hiyo ngoma, watu wako like same old, and then you miss it.
That was the actually they mentioned a couple of artists who I'm not gonna mention, but
what you mean? No, listen, let's normalize.
will be posted.
No, it's not about that.
The videos will be posted.
Now listen, let's normalize actually calling out people that are very short.
But they mentioned, okay, I'm gonna give a good example of the late. They mentioned Brian Shira because they were using creatives, not just artists. Like
Man, don't use somebody posthumously, okay? Because they can't defend themselves. Me, I'm gonna be out here talking about a man that's living or a girl that's living.
They mentioned Kaveveka Zeoze.
Yeah, that's a one.
Safi sana one hit
Safi. Watu wangu walimensioniwa kwa sababu kuna hiyo. It's not just about unakuja hujui kutumia brand yako, and then maybe one again upate deal moja, we don't know even to make the other deal.
A success is like Aziad. Aziad is a success because she came up one hit wonder, but she had a team, and she went and never stopped. Exactly.
Yeah, but just looking at all that, and maybe tips that most of the artists need to learn, because I hope, as much as her husband is also an artist, I hope financially she had amejipanga, because again I think in this whole game of actors, actress, artists,
entertainment industry,
literally most of the people find that the moment one of the brand walks away from them or what they lose too, and they lose themselves. But most of them, they live in expensive houses, they can't afford anymore. Maybe walikuwa wanafanya 50-50 na bwanake, now the whole cost is gonna go maybe to the husband, just saying. But I hope she's well. She was well. Amejipanga like na hizo miaka zote za
So
amefanya pia amefanya live whatever.
No, she started, me I knew Nadia. Funny thing, I knew her when she was in Campo.
Alikuwa anaishi Emba nakumbuka.
Yeah. Na tena akiwa Maseno.
Ah.
Yeah, because she started up in Maseno na alikuwa anafanya karaoke nights.
Okay.
And she used to do like a lot of karaoke. She used to be like, Majole must do the famous Campo. She had like a good voice. She used to host and stuff like that. And then she did her first song, Jipe, like whatever. The first song she ever did, and then it blew. But she was like hosting clubs during karaoke, like back then. And then she moved now after Campo, she moved to Nairobi. But she'd been doing like that underground scene for a very long time.
Yeah, so apparently the Kenyan singer and entrepreneur Nadia Mokami says she's lost millions of shillings after attempting to build her own record label and creative hub, according to remarks on the Ikonini podcast.
Okay.
Mokami explained that the venture grew out of the creative agency, and she had already established, which handled gigs for clients such as hospitals, radio stations. Encouraged by the progress, she invested 3 million Kenyan shillings to set up a physical creative space and nearly 1 million Kenyan shillings more equipment, including band gear. So what I'm kind of getting, the space tulikuwa jana near Homeboys, and the internal conversation of what is happening is that space is making a lot of money.
Yeah, they're making money because they're hiring the
and
space.
yeah, it's about to make also a lot of money, like with everything they are doing. So I feel like most of the, probably it's giving that.
Yeah.
Maybe she was trying to come up with something like
she was
that.
creating a creative hub for her people or to invest. Like unaweza, cause like akasema for the instruments, wanasema for the instruments, so maybe alikuwa buy all the gears and stuff that needs to, and she was creating a record label, a creative hub for people, the same way like Obina has created but for podcasts, the same way King Kaka has it, because you can't call them record labels really in Kenya. We can call them like creative hubs. If you see what King Kaka, even what OG is doing, that's a creative hub, and I feel like that is what she was trying. And man, has it failed though? Has it failed?
Well, again, she says she's lost millions of shillings for attempting to build her own records. So maybe mekunywa money.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I'd give a shout out to her.
For
Number
trying.
one, yeah, because first and foremost, we've cried, and I'm gonna give this to her. We've cried as female in the space. There is no female, and kill me if I'm wrong, who has been in the space of entertainment. You know, who has created that stuff. I've had Calligraph has done it, King Kaka's there. It's a male dominated space, and me hearing that Nadia tried to do it, people like Nazizi was there, people like Sanaipei was there before her, a lot of artists came before her, even Kinasaiset, even in gospel. We have Bahati who came with the MB Records, Saldido with Lipol, you know, and stuff. People created hubs, but I never heard of a female creating that, even to just give opportunity to other female people, even if the intention wasn't female, but a female pioneering that type of environment. Let me cook. And shout out to her for doing that, number one. At the end of the day, it's never easy. Just an encouragement, and I would not blame her. Business is like that. Just the same, I think we were having this conversation with Kerry, one of the artists we had here sometimes. Was it Kerry or Sadi, one of the artists? And he was saying about people want to invest in other things. Bila nasema acha chukue hii kitu nifungue hardware. Lakini asemi acha niweke kwa muziki. Aoni muziki kama biashara. And all these smart people, I have sat down with, shout out to PK. PK ndio ana sponsor like Kinabas, Lafayette, K-Force. I did a video for them some time back, and I was sitting with PK and just hearing, because he's like, he sounds like Keith. People looks like Keith. He's somebody born in the States. He has an accent and all that. So he's come to Kenya and he puts money behind artists. Tunaelewa? Like, hey, nakuona, acha nikuweke do. That's how unaona Lafayette every day. Kako na video kila siku. There's somebody backing money in it. The same way King Kaka backed money on Femi One. And he started making money after 10 years. You know, and said, I never made money with Femi. After 10 years, ndo nilishika shilingi yangu ya kwanza. People don't want to invest.
Shilingi lakini.
Millions, whatever. He's made millions with Femi. Shout out to her, she did amazing. But without that backup...
She left though, right?
No, she's still under King Kaka.
Really?
Yeah. Without that backup, there would never be music. There would never be a Femi. You know, there'd never be people like that. So people don't actually see music as a business, and we don't have people backing up music like that. So
We
shout
don't
out
have
to Nadia.
investors in the
Yeah,
industry.
investors in the industry. You see it, and that's why Kenyan music is not like that. Unaona Tanzania. We were within Tanzania. Who's backing up music? Who's putting money in music?
A
The
lot of
government.
people.
The government. Honestly,
Even before even you mentioned the government, there's a lot of tycoons in Tanzania,
putting
that actually put
money.
that have made wealth from music.
From music.
And like a good example is ukijana wenu mwenye ni baba East Africa. Like
Diamond is backed by Samia.
Yeah. And before Samia was even there. Okay.
But you see the things they're doing too. They support the government.
Yeah, but now you see, even
Let's
before
not-
that,
let's
he's
not
made
look at
money.
politics.
Let's not
Let's
look
look
at
at
it from
music.
a music
Okay,
perspective.
because if you say that, I can as well go ahead and say how many Kenyan artists wamereleasea wasanii ngoma, politicians ngoma.
Wengi,
Exactly. Okay,
But
and that's the
it's
same
business.
shit. But if you look at it, there is incentive for them to do so, because again, apart from being creatives and people in the industry, they are businessmen. I was saying this earlier, not earlier, but Jan, I think.
Yeah.
When you're an artist, you have to be a creative and you have to be a business person all in one. Okay, because you have to handle your business at the same time handling your creative edge. But if you don't have that capability in you, you will forever keep complaining about how the music industry has no money.
No, sometimes Kamlesh, just to like, sometimes I feel like we're not even gonna get into gatekeeping and all that.
No, it's not
I don't want to
it's
talk
more,
about
it's more.
Of how you see music. Music is a business.
Let me give you an example of people that made it but ain't shit now. Okay, and I ain't afraid. X-Ray and the gang. Okay.
Oh, that is Gengeton.
Yeah, like X-Ray and the gang.
Those are one they didn't know. They didn't
No,
have
no,
like
see
really.
one hit wonder. See one hit
Yeah,
wonder.
but I'm just saying, not one hit wonder, but they didn't have good management, Kamlesh.
Sailors.
They didn't have
okay.
good management.
No, you see, again, they didn't have that because they didn't understand the business end of it.
True.
Okay, look at hao wengine walikuwa watatu Aluta, when you drop Aluta,
Nelly the Goon
and the gang, right? Ochungulo, right? They had the game right here.
That's just urban tone.
Okay, no, that's Gengeton.
Yeah, Gengeton.
Now we can even go to urban tone artists as well. These are people that actually had the game on their palm, but since they didn't understand how to operate from a longevity point of view, they fell off as quickly as they came up.
One thing I definitely question, because there's a difference, okay? If you look at the younger generation, and I've studied that when it comes to music business, right? We talked about right now Urbanton, right? And we talked about Gengeton, right? And then before Urbanton
it's the same genre,
yeah,
right?
whatever, yeah.
Okay.
I'm just talking about the age. I'm looking at it from
The
an age
group,
perspective
yeah.
or age group, right? And then there's now people who understand this business. If you are in the industry, honestly, and you really understand that, somebody like, I feel like sometimes I'm in those places and I definitely maybe would understand a little bit. And I'll just give somebody an example. I feel like there's a gap between young and there's a gap between old.
Of course.
Yeah, there's a big gap, and I feel like at a certain point we lost it.
No, the old ones lost it.
No, give it a minute. Music industry, we lost it at a certain age. Before, around Gengeton, when Gengeton came back is when people started. It resurrected. But before Gengeton, Kenyan music was just
Nikina Bahati
everywhere.
waliua.
You
Nikina
know,
Bahati na Willy Paul na Daddy Owen.
Gospel industry.
yeah, but I'm looking at it from a space of.
Kina Size 8, they
And I'm
killed
looking
it.
at it from a space of right now. Sawa,
Kina
we'll
DJ
say,
Mo,
we'll
they
say
killed it,
Gengeton
Katwa.
is dead. Okay, we'll say that. Okay, but we have this younger generation and music that is coming up, and right now people are, and even shout out to everybody. If you see the statistics, Kenya nasikizwa sana sahi Kenya, and I like that because the statistics states that. So we are coming back. Okay, but I feel like each generation ya maju our zai, they have the game. They understand whatever is happening. But instead of them teaching game to younger people and molding, teaching, like this is why I appreciate such spaces. Like hata kama siku bado wanataka kuimba na wao. Uko 50 bro, mbona unanitolea EP? Saizi unafaa kuwa na creative hub ya kufunza watu, create like sessions where people will understand the game. Be an investor. Please, let's not have old people, Joby, who have understood
No, but
the
they're
game.
broke.
No, listen.
The oldies are broke.
Listen, now
No
it's
lie,
not,
the
no,
oldies are
listen,
broke.
Kamlesh, my perspective is it might be broke from a space of no money, but you're smart, you understand. If you sit with these people, they
Mr. Ideology, when you have to keep it, I could keep up when you was up.
Listen, I'm not looking at it from, I'm looking at it from game.
Your game is washed.
No, experience.
Your experience is washed.
This is
failure.
my perspective, and I would definitely say this.
Yeah.
Okay, good for you might be failure, but this is what I think and what I believe in. You've understood the game. You know what it takes to be there. You missed it. You made a wrong decision and you missed it.
That's why we have that made the right decision.
Wait, that's why we have Calligraph who made it. Okay, that's why you have people who have been long-term stars. So I don't want to see, and that's why I want to see people like Calligraph who have actually nurtured a lot of young artists.
Like who?
People came from Calligraph,
like
Silverstone, Baz.
She had a career before.
No, I'm saying brought up. Kelele. Man, Calligraph has given opportunity. Hata saizi. Yay! Caterpillar came.
Carter was there before.
No, I'm not saying without. I'm saying
giving them
below.
Giving them there.
Limelight.
Exactly, because you'll struggle as a.
Let's put it like that. Let's not put it like he brought people
on.
Like
no, he put them on. Honestly, he put them on by bringing them.
He gave them their 15 seconds and they made it into 15
that
hours.
15 seconds is what I'm talking about. A lot of people don't give that 15 seconds. You know, a lot of people want to keep the game to themselves, and I definitely think
shout out to Jaguar.
Kama ushaifika hiyo page yenye unaweza peana opportunity, we'd have the game rigged, and we'd have young people who are super talented, because now the people who've made mistakes najua wewe ni mtu, it's just like our elders. Mamlaka anaweza kukwambia cheki unajua mingi na mimi nimepitia hiyo, tungekubali. Lakini naenda tuturamba later tuko like mzazi wangu how was she correct, unajua. And then you look at it for like you look at it from a space of cheki, if I had done this, there are mistakes we've made. Even personally I've made so much mistakes that I would advise younger people and tell them, a younger woman, sasa ndio nasema ukipata kuna mwenye atakusikiza na omoka atatoka kwa ngoni. So if you have a lot of people like that, wazee tafadhali tuache kutoa mangoma, let's be investors, let's put music, let's teach game.
I remember the time I was so furious about that, and I kind of sounded delusional for saying I don't understand why we still have old people in the game. No, natoa ngoma zenye hata make sense. Example ni Nameless kwenda ku remix. Nilisikia ukitata ile siku like Nameless akaenda ku remix ngoma sijui ya lini. Atena sinzia nikiwaza ungefanya remix kitambo sana.
No nini? Ametoa ni bebe. After 20 years remix na this video.
So,
you should be the people actually like nurturing this
young
artist.
Personally, what I'd say is don't take artists from failure. Don't take advice from artists that are failures. Okay, like let's look. No, listen. Let's look at music as a business. So if somebody started a business and failed in it, is that the person you go take advice from when you're trying to start that type of business? No. I'm trying to get advice from the person that started a shop and is now a supermarket. If I'm going into retail, I'm not taking advice from Tualifunga Duka. Okay, like, and this is where we should normalize. How do I put it? In the most disrespectful way possible. If you're a failure, okay, stay out of people that actually have chances of success. And let me piss people off with this statement. Man, I don't regard most of these Kenyan acts as successes. We have very few successes in the music industry, okay? Zenya Manase, success. Bien, success. Okay? Apart from that, no.
So for you success ni lazima tufike colors, yani
what are colors honestly?
Grammys and your
yes, like international, like, and this is such a small market, and if you understand the Tanzanian Nigerian mentality, they never really look at their home ground as like the industry they're trying to conquer.
King Kaka is a success. He signed with Universal. Come on. What do you mean?
Yeah.
Femi One is a success under King
Now,
Kaka.
now, let me put
Bruh.
it. Let me put it this way. Compare King Kaka and Bien.
Yeah, but they are still success.
There's levels to this.
I agree, but
Okay, no, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying like he's
Femi is top.
like,
Femi is like #1 Africa. Unajua alipewa Afrimama.
Mm-hmm.
Afrimama top African female rapper. Femi One.
Zenya na compete for Grammys.
Yeah, I don't disagree, but I'm saying you
You
can't
get-
tell me. You can't tell me.
Like-
You
But
can't
still.
tell
No,
me.
no, like there's levels
Yeah, like
to
you
this.
can't tell me
Kuna-
Femi One is a
kuna-
failure.
Kuna
I
millionaire na
can't.
kuna Jimmy Wanjigi.
Cap.
Okay, kuna millionaire na kuna Jimmy Wanjigi. Okay, there's everybody. Then there's
There's
the
local, but
Kenyatas.
Femi is not local.
No, I didn't
Sorry.
say she is. I said there's levels to this.
Okay, Kamlesh.
Okay, like there's levels to this, and if we wanna really go big, Sawa, we need to take inspiration from the biggest acts that have ever done it.
Let's
And
benchmark.
yeah, the biggest acts, not like, yeah, this is a big act. Okay, like the biggest,
Honestly,
like Karun is good enough. Karun is good enough to be in LA. Okay,
Maya Molo.
Maya, exactly. You get what I mean? Like they are big enough, but they keep competing on a petri dish.
How do Nikita, man? What the heck?
Okay, petri dish, tiny freaking industry, tiny industry that does not even fathom how to change its own diapers, can't even transition successfully. Okay,
May have
now I'm keep it real.
It's not going to. You're not going to keep our industry small.
No,
We are
but
in
it
a tra-
is.
We are in a
But it
trajectory.
is.
Me, I'm telling you, Kamlesh. If
It
you say,
is.
sometimes it's important to give grace. One thing you
So-
study. Our industry is not the same as it used to be 5 years or 2 years
Now,
ago.
see, Jakarta,
So
that
I
is
would
true.
give
Wait.
grace.
No, give me my 10 whatevers.
You
Okay,
have a few
before
minutes,
before
as we're
before
about to wind
this
down.
side, I just need 2 minutes. Okay,
2
listen.
years.
From 5 years ago to here, we've grown like a motherfucker.
Thank you.
Okay, but still, hadi pali to make grow. This is a freaking petri dish. Okay, like why? Ask yourself this question: why are Tanzanian artists paid more in Kenya than Kenyan acts?
So before
Why
you answer,
why
before
are
I answer-
Nigerian and Ghanaian acts
Being
paid
paid.
more in Kenya than Kenyan
Oh,
acts?
the international.
Exactly. They don't look at their market as like, I just need to rule this market and I'm good.
I agree.
They look
We
at
agree,
Africa
Kamlesh.
as like their home ground. Okay? And they make
And they're
music.
benchmarking with international.
Exactly.
That's why we have
That's what
Tyler,
I'm
Ira Star,
that's what I'm saying.
Burna Boy.
Now you see, those are Nigerians that decided I shall not just identify as a Nigerian act.
We go back to the management.
And that's where I'm saying
The
petri
management.
dish thinking, the management petri dish, the artist's petri dish. Okay, like tiny brains doing tiny things, and then it's a small pond, small fish.
Can
okay?
you please just there's a lot of gatekeeping also.
Get in the freaking ocean and realize that when it's shrimp,
I had an artist here, Calvin Kalmax.
ukulo na shark ndio ujue.
Calvin Kalmax alikuwa ananiambia he has like an international collabos.
But
Nani
they don't
mdogo?
even, they don't even.
Nani mdogo hapa namuuliza, umepata international collabos? Ajako like it's easier for me to approach an artist from South Africa
Wallahi.
than approach
Kenyan.
Wakadinali or BN. And we are Kenyans.
Petri
You know,
dish thinking.
Kim Life, if you maybe people don't know him, if you look at him, he's like top notch, like hao ni watu tarehe tuko juu. They would even go and compete with bigger artists. But he's not known. Guys, alijulikana, nani alimjua? Don Jazzy.
Honor. As in,
In
people across
Nigeria.
borders are giving our
And-
artists props.
And
Na hata hatuwajui.
after that akapewa collabo na BN. And that's why I'm saying it goes to, and I'd say this to
There's
be as
levels
just
to this.
as I wind up. Standardization. However much there's gatekeeping, we should have standardization in our Kenyan music, where we know this is the standard music. Without this type of standard, we can't say that's a song. We can't put that song as this is a Kenyan song. Let's have people, and those people, we are supposed to actually
thought you could
choose
make
them.
just local
If it is a
music.
board or whatever, people who actually say this is the standard, we've set it.
Thank you.
Below this standard,
Hakuna,
you ain't a
I
musician.
drop.
Because in a room, hata sahi tuko 3 amarapa.
I think
Kama tuko to 3 and in 3 there is an artist. So you can imagine in 10 how many people, or in 5.
funny thing that's a
Standardization.
conversation, a question someone asked Jana, like should we have a standardization of number one, the music we're releasing, the videos we're releasing.
Yeah.
And shout to the
There's a levels to this shit.
said ana issue na kutuaka, but you don't understand what you're doing to the music industry by thinking that naenda tu na the wave of jumademo wengi ama genge tonoto wanatoa mangoma zikituaka. You could have a very good music but a very poor quality ass video. And actually we're talking also about if when sometimes
Audio,
the
low
video,
quality, video, low quality,
but sometimes
writing, low
video I
quality.
match the audio. The audio is not matching the video.
Standardization.
So most of the people were asking, which is a question I think we've discussed here, like ngoma zingine ziangaliwe before zitolewe.
Standardization.
Yeah, like and they say they are heavy on that and they're looking forward to push that policy.
But now
where
the
some
problem
songs,
is
they
who
have to
are
be
the people
reviewed.
who are going
They
to
have
be charged?
they have to be reviewed
You've
before
said
they
a
are
very
released.
interesting word, policy. Who's pushing?
That's what
policy?
I'm saying. Who are in charge? And those people who are in charge,
Who's pushing?
who are in
Because
charge are
policy
the gatekeepers.
policy requires government and structural.
we can keep a board without the government coming.
And this is,
You
let
guys
me
should
finish.
have come
Let
to
me
anamuliza
finish.
hizi maswali
Let me
zote.
fin-
No,
No,
it's a conversation, you know. It's a and we are
it
getting
was-
answers within us.
Kuna, you see, when you, this is why Kenyan artists don't get copyright money. They don't get.
MCSK is cancelled.
No. It's again. It's because
But it's not
the policy in place, okay, is weak. It does not protect the art. Meaning, if it doesn't protect the
What
art,
if we create a board, not policy?
now
Like
that
people-
board has to be empowered by policy.
That's what I'm saying. Like a new policy, cancel whatever we have.
No.
If that
Now,
is a
you know how you
solution.
cancel policy? You enact new policy.
That's what I'm
Exactly.
saying. That is now the new
and
standard.
how that happens, okay, is through government.
That's true.
It doesn't have to be government.
No,
We create a board.
policy. Government policy is what
Government.
dictates what
But
law
you know,
is.
but you know, there is law, there is the constitutional law, and then there is the music law. Honestly, there is. Hata msemeni, hata mkatae.
Listen. Again, I'ma put it like
It
this.
doesn't have, what I don't agree is, might be the constitution, but I don't agree there has to be like a government law to set we can create a board. What I think, we can create a board, we can have the government policy or whatever, but government policy will work under
This
the board
board-
that have set the standard music.
No.
I feel like the
That's
reason
I
why
think
it has to
you-
go
you
through the
see-
government
you
is
see-
because
That's what I'm saying,
if
the
you
government
violate,
can
because
actually-
it's traffic rules, you violate.
If
I'm
you
saying
can
the
create a
board.
you can
That's
create
what I'm
a-
saying.
you
The
see,
board and the
once you-
government will work through the board. That's
And
what I'm
once,
saying.
once,
You know,
once you create this
Lazima
board,
ukue.
okay?
si wako juu,
No,
like
listen,
board ina
listen.
setting the standard, alafu
Listen.
inapasiwa na gava.
No, once you
Establish.
get this board in place and saying this is the standard, okay? They can say this is the standard, but without government empowerment, you're in your opinion.
That's what I'm saying.
Now,
Like we create a
when
standard.
when this board, okay, has that, and you have a body that is, listen, it creates that standard, and then they create a policy where, and this is where unasikia US wanasema kitu inaitwa lobbying, okay? You go lobby parliament, okay, to pass these standardization
I think
measures.
we're talking about the same thing.
Yeah, and this is where that policy that they've created is given power, okay, so that it can be effective throughout the country.
I think
Like
that's what
you
they're saying.
have to get government involvement.
And that's what I'm saying, Kamlesh. I think we're the same.
yeah.
Like ukwe na board in a set standard,
But
and then
they
it is
lobby the
supported with the
government.
government. So the government, if you have to go through that, you have to pass through it.
'Cause right.
Because if we give a point of they can't be, then what is the solution literally?
The solution is simple. It's so simple.
What is it?
And sometimes the simplest ideas take the longest and the hardest routes to
What
make
is it?
It's this. Let us make it hard for people to listen to music illegally. Okay?
Are you talking about subscriptions?
No, like
No.
pay.
Like
Hey, radio. You know, radio is
Like-
supposed to pay you for
Yeah,
playing
for
your
playing
music.
music.
Yeah, because
Okay?
that was there too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
radio is
like
supposed to pay, and
radio
people assume
needs to
that.
pay. They
Hata
don't
mtu
need to
anaweza
play
tusu-
songs for free. we should be paying.
I know
But
When we
people
play
pay.
KE here, we should be paying Kenyan artists. Okay. Number 2, and that doesn't happen across the board, by
But
the
now
way.
there's
That's
YouTube.
why they have
Is YouTube, Kamlesh?
Yeah, sure. Let me finish. That's why you have radio stations hiring music, whatever directors that limit the number of songs in Kenya that can be played. Okay? Ndio maana unapata they keep repeating the same international songs and some Kenyan music so that they can reduce the amount of money they pay. Okay? When it comes to paying for Kenyan what? Whatever, right? Or
is a limitation
number
too.
Number two, we need to empower artists to own their own music, not the producers, not the labels. You need to own your own music.
Teach them. They
Okay?
don't know.
And
Music business.
that needs to be in a policy.
So-
Okay? Just because you recorded the music doesn't mean you own the music. Let's work on a split. Split sheets.
Split sheets, yeah.
Okay, let's work on split
Contracts.
sheets, contracts, and let's have security and what for
Artists
artists.
don't know this
So
shit.
so
That's the
that
problem.
when we do music, and I'm trying to like con you, you have a body that you can go to that will defend the shit out you. Pardon my choking. I'm choking on the lies of these labels, okay, that they keep giving to artists.
But you know the problem, Kamlesh, is when you look at it from that perspective. Please come to wind
Yeah.
up as we come to the end of our show. As we look at it from that space, right? That's why you say there's a difference, and that I said it from the first time.
Me hata
There's a
wanipatie
difference-
kazi.
There's a difference from
Pay
an
me
artist
like
who
Kid
started
Billy.
today and somebody who has stayed. Because somebody who has been in the industry and has understood will never make such mistakes.
We need our
In
own
fact,
distribution
every time
network.
you
Shout out to
move-
1 RPM. Hata
Every
kasi ya
time you
Kenya.
move to them, every time you move to them, utajua tu si msanii wa kuchezea. Huyu anajua Kenya anafanya. Wacha alafu kuna mwenye unaweza mzungusha.
Black and white
I
on
feel like
paper.
they supposed
Signature
to
yako
be
niweke
like
yangu.
kuna
I will
musical
take you to
schools,
court.
man. People also don't want to attend these musical forums, musical schools, musical free courses that are there. You don't want to say, hey,
Na pia mwende
nilizaliwa
music
nayo.
writing schools pia.
Kuna
Mnaandika
hizi-
ngoma
na
basic.
imagine ni free. Wasanii wanadhani tu nimezaliwa nayo nitafanya.
Umezaliwa
Alafu unakuwa
wapi?
fucked up. 2 years, 3 years unachoka na
Start
industry.
blaming people.
You are bitter.
Una make the same
assumed.
song in different words kila time.
I'm blaming
Sawa.
And blaming people, but it's always been there, and you didn't take that
on you.
chance.
It's on
So,
you.
my closing remarks is, tafadhali, we need, as an artist, their forums. As an artist, their schools. As an artist, their classes for free. As an artist, manze, hadi pages.
As an artist,
Watu
don't be
wanapeana, hadi pages, unafollow tu IG, utaona watu wapenda free classes. YouTube is there, is teaching you
Don't be ignorant.
music management, music business, music everything. So learn so that you're not fucked up as an artist. These are the bitter truth as to why people are bitter right now.
I mean,
Bitter
shout out-
truth as to why artists are wanaenda through depression. Because they would have
muendelee,
made so
msitoke
much
hapo kwenye
money.
depression.
There is a bigger difference between artist wa majuu na huku. Mtu anajulikana kwa block and is a millionaire. Na wewe unajulikana Kenya nzima, hata hiyo milioni hujaishika.
Unanunua bado bangi ya chwani.
Na uko na hiyo yote because you assumed. Honestly, hata pesa kufika studio na
Ana.
uko kwa TV.
Ana
Wewe unataka umsaidie hiyo chwani afike.
amekula ugali sukuma hadi ananuka vegetables.
Na unaangalia talent ya umse uko like this is not supposed to be that. Those are the things that make
Mtu
us
hata akumbuke alikula fruit lini
stay
mwisho.
woke. Thank you so much.
But let's say closing remarks. Kamlesh.
Yo, listen, don't be dumb, okay? That's just it. Don't be ignorant, don't be dumb. Being an artist is being a business person. Shout out to New Wave. That was a free, how many weeks course?
8 weeks.
How many of y'all actually went there and actually learned something? How many?
Critical thing.
Siwezi kupeleka
Na
kwa
kuna
mto na
mingi kaizo
na
na
force
masomo.
na ni force maji kwa mdomo yako. Nikikupeleka kwa mto kunywa maji. You're dying of thirst. You're at the river and you want me to beg you to drink water. Na kuchinja. Na kuchinja na kula hiyo nyama.
That's so sad. But my closing remarks personally is nimepoteza kuna kitu ulikuwa umemention ya mwisho nilikuwa nataka kuongezea hapo, but one of the things again I'll wind up with that I learned jana ni as an artist again, don't give up. there are 3 words that Jim said when it comes to the creative people. He said, tease, build, deliver. That's the only way you can be able to get yourself where you see your vision. Tease, build, and deliver. And I love really those words. Also, you're taught to understand your CPM, that is cost per month. Understand kuna kitu umemention here, umesema about being paid by radios and all that. Ulikuwa nasema actually if you understand your genre of music and you package it so good, because packaging also matters, like you said, kila kitu when unajikuta out as an artist, so you find most of the songs you'll have to pay for them before skizem sani, and that's what pays artists, because we're talking about how Meta is in Africa and we have so many content creators, artists. Mtu ako na album sijui ngapi, but hata bado hajaianza kulipo na YouTube bado, hata hajui pesa ya YouTube kaaje.
Na angekuwa na even Spotify.
Yeah, so you go back to understand maybe what is it you're not doing okay, what is it that you need to do correctly, because from there that's where you start getting deals. Neza kwa tu ni kuperform kwa stage, it pays vitu kidogo kidogo, because you don't wake up today and you're Michael Jackson. Yeah, you have to build that up. You don't wake up today you're 50 Cent. You'll have to build that up.
Be a dollar, don't be 50.
Shout out to Silverstone. Alikuwa ananipea game, and she was telling me about how because she's signing back now to 1 RPM and after Stick, right? And she was telling me how 1 RPM were sponsor, man. They gave Brooklyn 2 million. And like they only take like 10%. Not like 25 YouTube, just Spotify takes something. 1 RPM only takes like 10, and sometimes the maximum 15, even sometimes 5. It depends on the relationship, but they'll invest like money on you, and people don't use it because they feel it's so local. Yeah, RPM is local. Na kusign 1 RPM ni free. Ulipi. If you don't know, use 1 RPM, it will give you money, it will sponsor you, and it markets your shit. Like literally, ukipost ngomako, wanainini to Spotify. Wanayeka, like they market to other pages, and your song will be known. That's why unapata mtu kama Genje ziko everywhere. Na si wao ni market, it's 1 RPM was marketed. Man, the game is here. You just need to learn and be in these spaces. Plus, an artist, please stop staying at home. Be outside. Be outside. Outside is where people listen to you. Outside is where you market your song. Stop being an artist in the bathroom. Network.
You said in the bathroom.
Because that's what they do. Sing in the bathroom. Shout out to me. Ni msanii mbaya. Hadi mimi ni example.
Me too. Mimi nilikuwa menda MTV Sugar kwa sikia tu wasanii venye wanaimba, niko like damn, mbona sikupursue career by the way? Why didn't I take my music singing lessons serious? Like why did I stop? It's crazy, but yeah, jitume ama utaambiwa hivi na Mandy, by the way. Sikusikii, sikutambui, hausaidii. Have a beautiful weekend. See you tonight.
Last time I checked all your songs didn't see us. Who you know run the game like me and don't call for a show if you're not ready for the feel? I forgot. Kicking on me, hypnotizing now.
You're now listening to the best music.